Okay, so good day everyone. I'm now going to start driving test routes myself and talking you through parts on it, bits that you might want to go and practice, areas that I notice where quite a few people foul, so you can get used to that, and then in your driving lessons or private practice you can go out and practice those areas. Okay, so on these videos you'll be able to see the road ahead. I'll see if I can slightly, there you go, give you a little bit more, so when we're coming to roundabouts and stuff that should be good, but I need you to see me as well. Hello. Right, there you go. Right, okay, so you can see when I'm checking the mirrors, check my blind spots, all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to point out, like I say, areas where people have failed and the reasons why they failed. All right, yeah, and just general chit chat as we go along. Okay, so this was a 1325 test, so away we go. Having a look round. Sometimes you've heard that there's a thing called the 6-point check, and you see people dun, 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 all the way around. So it's a good way to kind of remember it, but there isn't really a 6-point check. It's not anything that's on the test. The word is effective observation. Okay, so along here you get asked a lot of the time to pull up safe, legal and convenient. So when you're asked that, do nothing, check where you're going to pull up. I found my point, then check your mirrors, make sure your signal is timed correctly, because what you don't want to do is signal too early when there's a road there. Okay, once you're stopped, we'll have that, handbrake, signal off, and then the examiner will ask you to carry on when you're ready. So back around, quick check there, and then not going to put a signal on, no one around, final check in the blind spot, and away we go. Checking the mirrors, moving around there. Okay, so this is very common here to be taken down here and go left here. Mirror, mirror, signal here, right, yeah? And down these roads, a little bit of meeting, quite busy, right, yeah? So we're going to make our way through here. I hope the sun's not too bad on the camera. Now I'm not going to go in there today because today is quite busy, but they sometimes take you into this car park to do the drive into the bay or the river. So we're going to go left to the top of the road, so mirror, mirror, signal left, and then you will come out here. Okay, so this is Waterloo Road, nice busy road. Okay, new road, new mirror check, and away we go. So we're following down there, and again, like a really busy thing, a really busy road. So these islands in the middle are called pedestrian refuges. So they're not places where pedestrians have the right of way, but they are places where you can be reasonably safe in the middle. So some of the reasons why you don't want to let people go there are the vehicles behind might not know that there's a pedestrian there. They could be blocked, the vision could be blocked. So if we stop to let them go and the vehicle behind doesn't stop, that's a potential dangerous situation. Someone could end up being seriously hurt. So, but obviously if people are in the road, then you need to be slowing down and letting them go. You can see that person way at the pedestrian crossing, so I'm up with my mirror checks and I'm ready for it. Okay, so any type of pedestrian crossing, always let them cross, get to the other side, waiting for the lights to change. You never go until they change to red and amber, and away we go again. Okay, making sure we're keeping that distance, that 1 meter from parked vehicles, and we're going to go right at the traffic lights. So these lights coming up are pedestrian crossings, but we are going right at the traffic lights. Sorry, no we're not, we're going straight ahead of the traffic lights. I forgot the test route there for a minute, yeah? and we're going to go right at the next light. So I check my mirrors, and looks pretty good. By leaning forward, over we go. Okay, so again, many people they have issues here with these ones. So the lights are green. It's changed now. Put my mirror signal. So all you're doing is move into the middle of the road, and there's some little tips here, little guides. So you see that little white line, hopefully you can see the pavement, the curb, and that little white line. I normally use that as my guide to send me out into the middle of the road. Yeah, that black car in front, he's turning right in front of me, and then where that green car is, they're the vehicles that are going to be coming, like oncoming vehicles. And then the vehicles the other side of them, we've got to be aware, because they're turning left off of there, but some of them are going straight ahead. So just got to be a little bit aware on these ones. Good news is they've done all the potholes, so we're happy about that. So there you go, follow my line, can you see? And you get somewhere here, right here. So got a clear lane in the middle, but look at those cars. I don't know whether they're going left because they're not indicating. That guy is. I'm hoping he's there. He looks like he's slowing down, and I'm gonna go here. Okay, so that is an area I would suggest that you practice quite a few times. Get used to it. Okay, so as we travel down here, got these pedestrian crossings. You've got a great chance here to have a really good view. Nobody that side, nobody that side, and more importantly, the button hasn't been pressed. So that's good. Right. So we're coming up to a roundabout, and we are going straight ahead. The second exit, and you will either here keep left or keep right. We're going to keep right. Now, one of the things I find is people don't realise there is a first exit. Right, so let's check our mirrors. They said keep right, and if you look to the left on the roundabout, you can see that first exit into the car company. Because I'm keeping right, it puts me into the perfect lane, which is great. Love that. Okay, now I'm entering the flyover. So the speed limit here is 30 miles an hour. So this must be in the top 10 areas where people fail if you come this way, and that is because of speed. Right, yeah, so just like a roller coaster, as you're going up the hill, a little bit more gas, but when you get to the top of the hill, you want to keep an eye on your speed. Okay, here is where it normally begins to go up, so I've eased off the gas, just keeping it under control. Have a look ahead now. You can see the speed will be 40, but that's not 40 yet. That will be 40. And now I'm beginning to check my mirrors, because wherever I'm going at the roundabout, I always get over. Okay, so that means whether you're going right, straight or left, always get into this lane. Now I know now that we are going straight at the roundabout, so that means we are moving into our left lane. You can have a really good check over there. Okay, and we can move straight into left. No need for a signal, no one around to affect. Just a quick thing here, if you are going right at the roundabout, look at these two lanes. You can see the right one is for going right, and the middle one is for going straight and right. So that tip that driving instructors give, 2 lanes in the same direction, keep to the left. Just makes it a bit easier and a bit smoother. So here we go, we're going straight ahead here. When the sun is quite bright, we can bring down the sun visor, or it's a good idea to wear some sunglasses, which I'm going to put on now. Okay, right, here we go. There's my position there. I always aim for the curb, so I'm keeping in a nice position. Good mirror checks again. Beautiful. second, put the handbrake on, and away we go. Now, sometimes you hear of people, oh, don't worry, if you go to Cobridge, you're never going to go into Newcastle. That's not true, right? Yeah, you can go across the A500, you can go into Newcastle and go the other side, you know. So a road's a road, and I hope these videos help so you can get practice in some of the areas that you need to. So we're going straight ahead. Now here's one for you. Lights are green. I'm up in my mirror chest because I want to know how far the guy's behind me. Then I'm going to give myself a point of no return. So this is easy. I'm definitely going to stop. But the point of no return could be if I get to here and the lights change, then it's probably better to go through. I remember once I was doing an advanced test in Birmingham. Never really been to the place, and I was driving ahead, and as I was approaching some traffic lights, I could see that there was a big, it was like a skip lorry behind me. And as I came up to the lights, they changed. It was like quite a fast road, and I said, no, I'm going to go through. And as I went through, I checked my mirrors, and the lorry went through just behind me. And the examiner said at the end, he said that was a very good decision. So all the work on traffic lights is done on the approach. And like I say to my pupils, the red light is your best light at a distance because you can adjust your speed. The green light is the one with the variable, but if you think about who's behind and have a plan, then it shouldn't be a problem. As we see, we'll have another light come up here. Oh, I like this bit, wind turbines. I like this little bit, it's good. So here you go, green light, so I check my mirror again. So I'm thinking about the point of no return. Oh, there you go. Sometimes you can't get it right. Although, if you're on a test, that's exactly what you want to happen. You can tell that situations have happened here where people have been jumping the light because you've got that camera on your right, which is a camera that will flash if you jump the lights. You used to get a lot of those in London and stuff. So if you use those techniques, that will save you money and save you getting points on your license. Okay, so now we're coming in to the Newcastle sort of one-way system, right? Yeah. So it is a one-way system. You could be in the left or the right because it's all traffic, but we're going to keep in the right, so which I would advise you because of where we're going on the next roundabout. So we're going to stay in this lane, and what we're going to do is go right at the roundabout. So just a quick thing about that roundabout, if you are on the sat nav, so remember 4 out of 5 driving tests are the sat navs, and they use the TomTom's starts, right? Yeah, so that's how they can record routes, which we've got. But the sat nav unfortunately says right the third exit. It doesn't take in the other exits, so the examiner will always guide you. They always say no, it's not the third, it's the fourth exit. So can you see how this is set us up perfectly? And then we're going to go mirror signal right, and here, bit of a close junction till you get to here. Is there a gap? Yeah, we're going to take that. So here, first exit. This is your second exit. Now at this point here, you want to be checking your mirrors. I can see that blue car there, and I want to make sure that I can get across and away. Big potholes here. Are these people going to cross? Nope. Carry on. So there's a lot that goes on that roundabout very quickly. Like you can see, that vehicle was behind, and he was going straight, so he's in a position where he could go past, so I need that mirror check to make sure it's safe. And then why I'm doing that, I've also got the pedestrian crossing coming up. So like I say, there's a lot going on that roundabout, and especially if the examiner is telling you it's not the the third exit, it's the fourth. If you're thinking about that, you can be, getting a bit mixed up. So that's why it's important to practice that roundabout. Have a go. Okay, so now next roundabout we are going straight ahead, and that's the second exit. Now what I really like about this road is better in the winter, so we're just sort of in between, aren't we? But you can look through that park, bit of cross viewing. I can see if there's anyone there. A great way to keep your position on the roundabout is aim for the bollard. Can you see? Aim for the bollard. That shuts down these guys, signal, and away you go. And that keeps you in a lovely position if you aim for the bollard. Okay, so we're going to follow down here. So again, Cobridge test routes, mix and match with Newcastle. And I think one of the big reasons that changed it was the new road that goes past Marks and Spencer's, because that can bring you straight back into sort of Festival Park very, very quickly from here, when a few years ago you couldn't do that. Okay, so less space, less speed. And again, I've got a really good situation here because I've got red lights in front of me, and I love red lights at this kind of distance, because that probably means they're going to change if I'm clever. I give myself a little game sometimes, try not to stop, and then I pay myself like 10p if I don't stop. So there you go, looks like I've bagged 10p. But things like that make your driving lovely and smooth, all good. So now we're coming to the roundabout, taking us down to Marks and Spencer's. So again, I can check my mirrors, but do I want to signal yet because of that little road? So I've checked my mirrors, can even change my position because it's not going to be affected, and then I can come on with my signal now, so it's nice and safe. Again, early observation, looking for a gap. Great. Follow this round, make sure there's no bikes by the side of me, give a signal, away go. Pedestrian crossing is not going to change because the buttons on that side are not lit up. And then I am following down to the roundabout here. Now if you haven't practiced this roundabout, I would strongly suggest you do, because I think this is maybe one of the trickiest roundabouts in this area for being busy and quick. And that's because there are so many cars coming out of the Marks and Spencer's and Matalan and what else it is, other shops, and vehicles, oncoming vehicles coming ahead. Blockers are very quick, so it's a very good place to practice. So we're going straight ahead, second exit. Right, I don't know how busy it's going to be today, but it can be. So can you see those vehicles all there? I've got that vehicle, him coming round. It's quite difficult to see their indicator. I can see that red vehicle, he's coming round with his indicator there. So I'm trying to look more ahead so I can see blockers. Not a blocker, not a blocker. That blue car's going there, that one's going there. I can see him, this guy's coming round quite quick. Yep, so there. So again, he's going there. I'm going to use that. That's my gap. Get your foot down, away you go. Mirror signal to come off. Then you come to this next roundabout, and it is straight ahead, but it's the first exit. So you can keep your position in the left. See those chevrons in the middle? You want to try and keep here, even though you're broken. So if it's an emergency, it's safe to do so. You could go in, but try and keep the position there. Then we're going to get back to the left, and this is another great place, if you get this, to keep your position on the left. So we're following the signs for city centre. Okay, early observation. Aiming here, see the bollard, mirror, signal left, lovely position. Traffic lights, pedestrian crossings, no one's pressed the button, all good. Speed limit here, well, street lights, no other signs. This is a really nice road, not many potholes, there's no potholes I think, and very well marked. I love these signs. Look out for ducks. I think it's because there's a canal there and a lake somewhere over there, a little lake. There's one here and one there. One for your ferry, triangle signs, warnings, and with a duck on, like ducks, waterfowl, be aware. Okay, so we're now coming in to Festival Park, right here. Again, can be quite busy, lots of roundabouts. So we've got the water world over there, so watch out for people that don't know the area, who are tired, want to get home, pulling out. Can be quite busy. So these are all the areas you want to be aware of. And then you've got the hotel. Again, you're going to get people that don't know the area. They make mistakes, think they're going left, and then go, oh no, I'm going to go right. So hotels like that are points to think about. Okay, at this roundabout, we're going to take the first exit left. Okay, so a great thing, check my mirrors. I can see there's no one by the side of me. Signal time, don't want to signal yet. I want to time it. I'm still checking my mirrors, but I can time and put it on now. Already looking to the right, planning, can I go? There's the gap, done. Okay. Speed bumps, best way to deal with speed bumps, come off the gas, let the car just ride over it, accelerate in between. So you can pick your speed up in between, ease off the gas, let the car just ride over it. Speed bumps are designed to give you more of a bump if you're accelerating. Next roundabout straight ahead, and that is your second exit. Busy one, this one, McDonald's, so I'm keeping my position here. See that guy, the delivery guy? Look for a gap, there you go. Mirror, mirror, signal, tell people what you're doing. Another speed bump. I actually like these speed bumps. If you can have a speed bump, these are probably the best ones, aren't they? The smooth ones. Not the big like ones that are falling apart. Okay, so next roundabout we're going to go right. So mirror, mirror, then signal right here. Here's my position on the right, looking already, looking for a guy. I can see that guy indicating, I can see his position there. Follow on to the road. Again, come in with your mirrors, middle one and left one, tell people what you're doing. This roundabout, and before that we've got those people waiting the pedestrian crossing, so no one behind me, so I could afford to brake if I needed to. Not going to change. Now this roundabout, it's the second exit left. Alright, yeah? So mirror, mirror. If I signal now, people are thinking I'm going to go the first exit, so I don't signal. And really important that you want to keep your position here. Aim for the bollard. There you go. Mirror, mirror, signal onto the new road. Check your mirrors, picking up speed, done. No one behind me, all good. So this is Greyhound Way, and what we're going to do now is, I'm thinking, well, they're going to go left and then maybe back towards the test centre that way, but no, we went this way. So let's have a look. Top of the road here, you want to go left towards Warrington and Congleton. So we're going to check that mirror and that mirror, and give a signal left, and then coming in. Back onto Waterloo Road. So you can see how that new road really allows different places to go to different places. Okay, so then I was here and I was a bit of a shock because we suddenly then went here, go right. So into this road, it's not, it's not potholed anymore, it is smooth. So obviously they've been working on the roads in Stoke-on-Trent, which is great. And then we're going to go left at the top of the road. So mirror, mirror, signal left. And again, this can be quite a tricky road to get out of. Because if you have a look, it's quite a closed junction, so I have to lean forward. I've got the pedestrian crossings, but it's still quite close. So a lot of that leaning forward, looking if they're coming down that from there. Nope. Back on. So final sort of pedestrian crossings on this major road, and they're not pressed, no button pressed, and then we're going to go left. So mirror, mirror, signal left. If you notice, the reason why I'm saying mirror, mirror, I'm giving a little gap between the mirror and signalling, which means that you've got time to digest the information. Okay, so sometimes it's worth having a look at the way you check your mirrors. So here's an example. If I'm going left, mirrors at the same time as signal, or signal and then mirror check. So think MSM. I'm going to go left here. No, I'm not. So MSM, make sure it's mirrors first, then signal. And if you can add a little pause, 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds, then even better. Okay. Final turn at traffic lights before we're back at the test centre. But there is one final little test, and that is here. So we're going mirror, signal left. Look at this junction, very tight. If you go too fast here, you will swing out. Okay, this is not too slow. And what you're doing is here, steer quickly, and away. Okay, so we check our mirrors here, we go round, and we are done. Okay guys, so gonna go right here. You normally go, and we're gonna go left there, back to the test, and when you pull up on the right hand side. Okay, try and get it the best you can, but that's normally out of the test. Okay, so that's a 1325 test. Doesn't mean you're going to get it if you got a 1325, but the reason why we do this is so you can go over some of the areas that would help you to practice and get to know, especially some of those bigger roundabouts. Yeah, so if you like this chat driving a test route, as I like to call it, chat driving a test route, then leave us a comment saying you like it, and if you don't like it, then don't leave a comment. Thank you very much.